Hello and welcome to yet another double episode of our Unity tip Roundup, where we gather tweets that were posted or mentioned on or around each Tuesday under the Unity tips hashtag. These are the 25th and 26th episodes mashed together because our video editor got COVID last week. Fortunately, it went by without any lasting effects. This comes with the added benefit of having a longer episode with 10 Unity tips from the last 2 weeks instead of having just a list of 5. Packed in with this extra large episode, we had the opportunity to again get the support from Unity themselves. That is why this segment is sponsored by Unity, and we want to tell you about the Unity gaming services. It is a suite of services that solves the developer challenges of building live games with tools for multiplayer services, game operations, user acquisition and monetization. If you've ever wanted to add those features to your games, check out Unity gaming services at the link in the description. And now, without further ado, let us get to our list of tips, which consists of tweets that were posted, shared or retweeted around 28th of June and around 5th of July 2022. In the first spot of our 2 weeks list is Mirza, a well-known name with nearly 10,000 followers to his account. He is still on his quest to make the world a better place while also being a software and game developer and technical artist. His tip is one of the prime examples of the effectiveness of simple things. You might think to yourself, man, I've known this function for ages. But still the tweet has almost 1,000 likes and retweets in the 3 digits. That shows how many developers out there did not know about this. The tip is using random.insideUnitCircle.normalized to get a random point on a circle. If you omit the .normalized, the points will be inside the circle and not only on the perimeter. We might have tricked you into thinking that there will be no Peter in this episode. Well, we got you there. Here he is with another tip that, judging by the likes and retweets, also went very well. The tip is for all those who are building grid-based games and want some kind of smooth movement. Have you thought about using coroutines to implement it? If not, check out the video in his post to see it in action and how it was done in code. Also, there's a link to a more in-depth tutorial. BeyondFX is a Los Angeles-based studio for real-time VFX that has worked on many well-known franchises and currently has 4,173 followers on Twitter and a dog named Holly. If you want to check out their awesome work and find out where you might already have seen it, check out their studio reel on their website. What they want to tell us about in their tweet is the solution for misbehaving effects which sometimes will not be rendered in the correct order in combination with meshes. The solution is quite simple. Use sorting groups. To see it in action, check out the video in the post. Alexander is a fresh face to our roundups. He is a generalist for stylized 3D and also a tech artist. He is working on games as well as on therapeutic VR. He currently has 164 followers. Whenever working with animated objects, you might have gone crazy when the selected object jumps back to its space position when you select anything else. And maybe you need to know where the object will be at that exact point of the animation to align other things to it. Alexander has a simple solution. Lock the animation window like he is showing in his video and the animated object will stay in place. Following the new faces is a familiar one, our favorite vehicle physics expert on Twitter. Vehicle Physics joins our list with a brand new tip. But this time it is again not a physics tip. This one is for all those working with Blender and exporting models to Unity. Check out the images in the post to see how you can set up your model to be exported with the correct orientation when importing in Unity. And here comes another tip straight from the source. Matthew is a product manager working for Unity Technologies and he has 1,810 followers on Twitter right now. If you're looking for a nice visualization for cotton and wool materials, check out the shader sample in the HDRP material samples. The fabric master node seems to work magic, adding threads and fuzz. Check out the video in his post for a demonstration. Manus describes himself as an overpassionate developer. With his 36 followers, he is a newcomer to Twitter and also to our list. He is describing a problem many of us has already ran into. We are all used to doing a quick input.getKeyDown for some form of quick debugging. At least we did this with the old input system. Since the new input system is widely adopted, this exact line does not work anymore. Instead, you have to use was pressed this frame, which can be queried for each key. Check out the image to his post to see the code. Andrew is a programmer working on his project Below the Stone. Check out the separate Twitter account for more details. According to his profile, he tries to avoid Twitter as much as possible, which is a pity since he has a nice tip for us. If you ever run into a problem with minimizing your full screen game properly, take a look at the Visible in Background option in the settings. It might help you out. Tristan is another very fresh face on Twitter, with 6 followers at the moment. He is an indie game developer working on Versus in the Dark. Check out his profile for a link. His tip is for those who are building their own editor tools and sometimes forget to save their scenes. One option would be to simply save it whenever certain things happen. But that might not be what the user wants. Instead, you can use the aptly named SaveModifiedSceneIfUserWantsTo. This does exactly what it sounds like. The user will be asked if they want to save the modified scenes, but also have the option not to do it. And we are closing our list of 10 Unity tips with one made by Piotr. You might already have seen his name in earlier episodes. He is a solo developer from Poland and he is currently working on his first puzzle game. At the moment of this writing, he has 88 followers. His tip is for the really lazy developers out there. He talks about using the sticky keys function built into Windows. By pressing Shift 5 times quickly and then Control twice, you can lock its state. This might not be a direct Unity tip, but it will help you with those tasks where you would have to hold Control down all by yourself. And like we always try to do it, we are sneaking our own tip in at the end of the list. This one is used in many of our own projects to make the life of the non-coding coworkers easier by checking if their input to our precious script is valid. The magic method is the OnValidate function, which can be used to check if everything is in order and otherwise warn the user or correct the values. You can see an example in the image where we use it to validate if a text is set for our localization tools. And since we are covering 2 weeks this time, we will be so bold and add another of our tips in here. This one is directed to all those new programmers out there. Did you know that C# has auto-implemented properties all the way back since version 3.0? This makes writing most of our properties a lot faster and easier. Check out the image in the post to see how it works. Well, now we finally reached the end of our list. It was a lot to work through. It almost seems like the community used our absence last week to post an extra awesome amount of tips to give us more to choose from when we come back. And that should be a reason for each of our viewers to also take an extra amount of time to appreciate those creators that made the awesome tips we featured this week. Head over to Twitter and leave some likes and follows. When you're done and you also want to show your appreciation to us, you can go to our channel and watch a few more episodes of this series. And maybe you will like 1 or 2 of our Unity tutorials. Anyway, while you are there, how about subscribing to our channel? If you do so, do not forget to hit the bell icon for notifications. For any questions, comments, recommendations or requests, please use the comment section. Thank you for your time and see you next week.